Hi there folks, welcome back to Rich Reviews. I hope you're enjoying basically everything about your day. Let's get on with today's film here folks. A Family Man, and this is directed by Mark Williams, and this is written by Bill Dubuque, whose previous writing credits include The Judge, which I didn't particularly care for, and The Accountant, which I didn't mind. This was originally called A Headhunter's Calling, which that might have been a more interesting title, would have made for a more interesting film, I don't particularly know. This is one of those films that I'm talking to you in August that will make its way onto one of the worst films of the year because I was just sort of flabbergasted by the end result of this film. Overacting Gerard Butler plays Dane Jensen, macho, ruthless corporate headhunter whose job it is to primarily find jobs for people. I guess his boss quite frankly wants him to close every deal possible. I guess there's also money involved. He's competing against Lynn Vogel, played by Alison Brie, and she's just as sort of ruthless as him, although not to a certain extent. The reason that they're being competitive for this particular month is because that their boss is on the verge of retirement, or he's going half-time, or if you want constant disapproval about how Dane does his job, take no further look at the Alfred Molina character in this film, who's a 59-year-old retired engineer worker. Dane constantly sends him out on jobs, knowing that he won't get the job, but does so. He wants to gather information on younger applicants for said same job. I'd just probably say to the Alfred Molina character, hey, just retire. I know in a few years you can collect Social Security for all I know. But you're probably asking yourself, okay, why is it called A Family Man then? Well, it's because, yes, Dane does have a family, and his wife, played by Gretchen Mol, is one of those long-suffering wives who basically says, "You're never here. Why aren't you never home?" You know those people that mixes coffee and a Red Bull in the morning, and he overacts towards his family. And then, of course, his son Ryan, played by Max Jenkins, Gerard Butler character, calls his son Rhino for some bizarre reason. I don't think it's remotely interesting the first time around he says it. And his son, apparently, he's been gaining weight. Okay, the Gerard Butler character is thinking, okay, I'll just have my son here run at 6:30 in the morning. But then, of course, they come to learn that Ryan has leukemia. Isn't that sad, folks? Of course, leads to Dane's main motivation to become a better parent is completely unearned, the way he becomes a better person in the process of the fact that, yeah, his son has leukemia. And all the while, he needs to get 20 grand so that he can be his main competitor for his boss's job. All the while, his son wants to make him visit, these important landmarks in Chicago, apparently, or at least I think it's Chicago. Every so often, he asks about God, and that 11-year-old, okay, what's God about? And he even asks a sheik why he wears a turban. That's only really in the movies here, folks, because I don't know how an 11-year-old would talk about God when he's dying of leukemia, or at least has leukemia. Now here's the thing, Bill Dubuque apparently at one point was an actual corporate headhunter type of thing, and I'm thinking to myself, and clearly he's thinking to himself, okay, I'm going to mix my own personal experiences of being a corporate headhunter, have this family drama of Gerard Butler in it, and their side really works. Gretchen Mol and Gerard Butler are standing over their son's hospital bed. She's hurling a couple of arguments that he's not really there, and she says it in a sort of relatively mean way, and he says, that's not fair. But basically, yes, it's true. That's because it is fair, because quite frankly, he works 80 hours a week, and it doesn't fully work as a cancer drama. Again, the Gerard Butler character is really not a very likable person. Even when he tries to go for redemption, it doesn't work. Last year, I reviewed a film called Get a Job, which had a very nice, neat ending, to which I found myself thinking, in that film, that ending completely felt unearned. I tell you why it feels unearned. You just have to see it, because quite frankly, look, cancer is not tidy. It just isn't. So in the end, folks, A Family Man is one of those films that you sort of just shake your head and think to yourself, why was this film made? Apparently, Gerard Butler gets a producer's credit for this thing. Congrats for him, but now we have to suffer through his film that he said was worthy of being made into a film. Well, for me, A Family Man, while you will definitely hear it, the worst films of the year, I'm giving this a only see when you're drunk rating, because hey, my son has cancer, blah, 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 I'm going to drink myself. So in the end, folks, what did you think about Family Man? Did you happen to like this film? Did you not care for it at all? I hope you didn't care for it at all. If you liked this film, congrats. You have weird tastes in film. Always, folks, like, comment, subscribe. Earn yourself up knowledge. I'll see you next time, folks, with a better film, I hope. Yay.